Good morning. Tape Reader Joe here, Friday the 27th of June. Let's have a look at what is going on with NASDAQ. All-time highs. Look where we started out this week. Since Sunday, we have just been going up, 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 and up. I've done a couple of trades, but not too many. Had some losses, had some wins. I don't know. I probably wasn't looking at it properly, but anyhow. But this is where we are right now, Friday, the 27th of June. I'm just going to expand this. We had high impact news at 8:30 already, which has already taken place. And you see we've had this reversal, and we're dropping down. So let's have a look at some of this detail to see where could price be drawing to. I've marked out the 22,600 level. That could be where we go today. Obviously, if you look at the weekly profile, we've got the low of the week on Monday. If today's the high of the week, Friday. You know, sometimes we also get that pullback happen on a we get the pullback that will take place on a Friday into the range. So I don't know if that pullback has already started, so to speak. But let's have a look at a couple of things here now before the 9:30 open. Right, here we go. We broke that high here. We've already gone past it. We are in this small busy there. I'm going to check off this high here. Where are we? That is our high, so we could be dropping down just to tap here and then reverse to continue up higher. I do also note this liquidity void gap right there. I don't know if we'll go down there today. That was from yesterday between 2 and 3. I don't know if it's the genuine one because this is obviously CFDs, and I hear that these things just jump sometimes. We've got this small gap here as well, so I'm just going to mark that off, which is where price is now. So we could be rejecting this here now to then go back higher, but let's have a look. We've closed through it. So yeah, so that's my do I favor a look at that? That's a close below, so that's telling me price is going lower. So I'm thinking that this could be our draw on liquidity down here. So let's just have a look now back down to the 1 minute. And see what's happened. Here we have it. So 9:30. So this is that small busy that I saw. We've also got a gap through here. We took that low there. So that's significant. I also noticed this change in the state of delivery right here, and it was at the 50% of that previous price cycle, which is significant too. So we might see price return here at some point. I'm not sure when. SMT at the top. We're close to 9:30. This is that low, so I was like, this was the 1 hour where we broke below, so we returned here, reverse to continue back higher, or we continue back down, continue moving forward. So here's our 8:30, which gave us that market structure shift here, as you can see, on our market maker sell model. Sorry, I'm moving all over the place. But yeah, that looks quite interesting to me. But here we have the 9:30. We've opened. We've taken this low. So let's see what happens now. So at the 9:30 open, price took that previous cycle's low, and we see a little bit of a retracement. Start moving up higher. I'm looking to see where my TP could potentially be, that gap or something. As I look down at the lower time frames, I'm checking to see if there was a market structure shift in that wick, in that 1 minute wick. We see a second drop lower, so I'm wondering, okay, I'm thinking this could be the low. I've noticed that in my back testing, within the first 5 minutes, you normally get the low that morning session, or continuation, whichever way you want to look at it. But here you can see that this is our market structure shift, and so I jump in there. You're just seeing that, we're at our point of interest. This is the reversal that I'm looking at my point of interest. It's an SMT. I put the take profit at that imbalanced price range that we can see towards the top of that previous cycle, and how price starts to move again. And I am looking at potentially entering a second trade, which I do there. I think we do get another drop down. There's an SMT at the top, which is a little bit worrying, but I believe that we're still going to move forward and we'll head towards that imbalanced price range. That's where my mind was at. As you can see, we get this drop down below back into that gap. I put my stop loss on because I hadn't done it yet. Normally my stop loss should be below that low. However, obviously I was a little bit later in, and that would have been a bit too far for me. So now it's just the waiting game, waiting for the candles to print to go in our direction. I had actually marked off the 22,600 level as the draw, but I didn't put that as my take profit because I thought with those big red candles we were heading down because we stopped short essentially in the previous cycle. I figured that we needed to clear up some more liquidity before moving on up. But as you can see, price continued up. We retraced into that gap, becomes an inverted fair value gap, and price continues up higher. A bit of time distortion. It's now 9:45 when the macro is to begin, and you see some time distortion over the next few candles. It moves slowly. One of the things that, as I say, that I've been picking up on is that when you have that low, that was me just looking to consequent encroachment of that time cycle. I noticed that we've got a fair value gap there, so I'm looking to see if this is going to be a rejection or we're going to get through that fair value gap. But I'm just being cautious and holding on. Don't do anything just yet because I think we haven't taken enough liquidity. I believe that we're still this is all part of the process to go through. But as I say, I've noticed that you do the low at 9:30, between 9:30 to 9:35, and then you should be able to ride it all the way till 10:15. But I didn't do that because we reached that take profit before 10:15, and so I just left it at that, to be quite honest with you, which you'll see in just a few minutes. We've got SMT on the top, so that's why I'm a bit scared. 30 and 90 minute SMT. I'm like, okay, so we have to be cautious. You can see I move my take one. I say I'm going to have one runner that takes me all the way up. So we take one, and then I just said, do you know what? Enough is enough. I'm okay with what I have, and that was it. That was the end of my run. But as you would have seen today, that we see a little pullback. That becomes an inverted fair value gap, and we continue on up higher all the way to what I thought was going to be my take profit. But all in all, I'm really pleased because at the end of the day, I managed the trade well. I held on to it. I used my stop loss. I watched what was happening, had everything marked out on the left side of the curve. You see the big green candle, we're reaching up. Before, I probably would have tried to jump in again here. Yeah, so that's our market maker with the high of the previous 90-minute cycle. That would have also been a possible take profit that was in between that. So, you know, it's all good. The left side of this curve dictating what happens on the right side of the curve, and the time was right. It was just after 10 o'clock open high, and eventually we take the 600 level, 22,600, where that red mark is pointing to, and yeah, essentially that would have been it. So yeah, I missed out on a few points, but it's all good because a win is a win at the end of the day. And in this situation, I'm pleased by that, and the fact that this has been working out. You know, as I say, my back testing, I've noticed holding on till 10:15 or even to 11 o'clock to take your profit. But yeah, all in all, really good. Let me know how you got on today as well.